Now, I use mechanical pencils for the preliminary drawings for my paintings. So here's a little video about the ones that I use and also the types of leads which I prefer. Now, I'm just using my mechanical pencil here to go over my outlines already made, just to reinforce them. But this particular pencil, or mechanical pencil, is a 0.5 nib. It's a Faber-Castell. 0.5 is very, very fine, as you can see. You can go finer than this apparently as well. But 0.5 is enough for me. And this is a 2H pencil. And all that basically means with a 2H is that it's slightly harder than a normal shop bought pencil. It's a little bit harder than that, which is ideal when I'm drawing on something like a watercolour surface where I want to maintain very light lines. So I could draw on here, look, and maintain a very light line. I know you can barely see it, but that's how fine you can get. And I can still see that line here with my naked eye. I know I need some clothes on my eyes, but because it's nice and light like that, it's really useful for something like watercolour. However, you can vary those pencil leads as well if you wanted to. This is, as I say, 0.5 nib. So if you wanted to, you can go for a 0.5 HB nib. So this particular one, I'll just show you what I mean, look. I'll just tip one of those out, go out, wherever you are. See those there? This is how fine, wait, come here, you can get. This is sort of the same sort of lead you'll have in a normal shop bought pencil, so HB, as you can see on there, by Pental, this particular one. So that's that one, but what if I wanted to go for a softer lead? I've got one here. Actually, no, I've got two here, but I've got one here, which is 0.5 again, which is the size I want to fit this pencil, obviously. But this is a 2B, or not to be, I don't know. But it's a 2B nib, so this particular one is a little bit softer than a normal shop bought pencil. So instead of drawing, very fine lines, let me just show you. A bit of scrap paper here, look. This one, without putting too much pressure on, gives me that sort of line. If I grab a pencil with a 2B lead in it, that's with hardly any pressure again, that's what you get from that one. Look at the difference. So the beauty about using the 2B and nib, I'm going to say it again then, is that the fact you can actually use it without putting too much pressure on the paper and damaging that paper surface. So if I raise that off there, I'll find there's no indentation on the paper. So if I wanted to just kind of paint over that area there with some watercolour paints, there'll be no sort of a recess for the paint to seep into, which, like my painting here, will give you a slightly darker line, okay, which you want to avoid most of the time really, unless you want that effect. A lot of people use it. So that's a 2H and a 2B. And obviously you can also get a HB, which is this one here. Yeah, that's just standard shop bought pencil sorts of lead, as I mentioned. And these are 0.5 nibs, as you can see there. Alright, so that's the finer, thinner lead which I'm using for my drawing here, which is this one here. And that, basically, I'm going to push this all the way out now, look at that. Oh, hey, don't break whatever you do. That's what you get from a very fine 0.5 nib pencil. And you can get even finer than that if you wanted to as well. And I mean fine as well. There's a variety of different sizes on the market. And also different softnesses of those leads. So let me give you some general idea. When you look at the different leads here, I've got that one there, got that one there. These are 0.5, 0.7, so it's a wider nib, a wider pencil. And when you look at these two here, if I just, hang on, put them down here and get all over the place here. Look at these two. You tell me which one of those two is a thicker lead. I know it's obvious, I realise that, the one on the right hand side. So that's a 0.7 nib pencil, okay? And this one's obviously 0.5. So I'll give you some general idea on the kind of thickness of those. If you want to do some very fine drawing, use this one. If you want to use some thicker lines, which doesn't really matter, use that one. And I'd normally use this one for drawing with or just writing with even, because I do tend to write a lot by using a pencil. But as you can see, there's a lot of different sorts of leads on the market, and there's even more than this as well. Different manufactured leads and obviously different size leads as well. If you want to watch a video about learning how to do some drawing techniques, have a look at the link to the top right, okay? I'll see you there.